joint Arab-Islamic summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which focused on the current situation in the Middle East. The presidential plane touched down at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at 8 p.m. Tuesday. He was received on arrival by a delegation of top government functionaries led by the Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila. The president joined other heads of state and governments of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the League of Arab States who attended the one-day summit. At the summit on Monday, President Tinubu called for an end to Israeli aggression in Gaza, acknowledging that the conflict had persisted for far too long, inflicting immeasurable suffering, and expressed deep concern on the humanitarian conditions in Gaza. He called for the establishment of a dedicated secretariat to implement the resolutions of the summit and urged the leaders to mandate a select heads of government to canvass support globally and oversee the implementation of the summit's resolutions. After the summit, President Tinubu also had an audience with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Details of their discussion are yet to be known. A new administration has taken off in Edo State as the newly sworn-in governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, promised to run an all-inclusive government in the interests of all. He gave the assurance shortly after he and his deputy, Dennis Idahosa, were administered the oath of office as governor and deputy, respectively, by the Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Daniel Okungbowa. Goodluck Nta reports that the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, led some APC governors and chieftains to witness the event.
The Samuel Ogumodia Stadium played host to an array of guests who trooped out to witness the historic event.
And that I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of Nigeria. So help me God.
The governor rode in a motorcade to inspect the guard of honor mounted by a detachment from the Nigerian Police, Nigerian Correctional Service, and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps before taking the guard of honor salute. In his inaugural speech, the governor appreciated the people of the state for their support assuring to govern in the fear of God. He said his administration will address insecurity, provide employment, address road infrastructure, and give priority to workers' welfare. He also promised to set up a panel of inquiry to unravel the reasons behind the refusal to inaugurate 14 members of the State Assembly in 2016.
We shall implement programs carefully outlined in my 5-point agenda. We will be firm in dealing with criminals and improve the security of our land so that farming and other business will flourish again. Our traditional institutions shall be given the necessary support to play their roles as custodians of our rich cultural heritage.
In his goodwill message, President Bola Tinubu, represented by his vice, Kashim Shettima, urged the governor and the deputy to remain focused and rule the people in the fear of God, describing the victory as collective success.
The journey before us transcends partisan lines. We need a united front in the service to our people. And no political party has managed its affairs with greater unity and purpose than the APC since we took charge. I am proud that Edo State has chosen such men to lead the charge forward.
With this development, Senator Monday Okpebholo becomes the 6th democratically elected governor of Edo State since creation in 1991. In Benin, Goodluck Nta, Nta News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu congratulates Senator Monday Okpebholo on his inauguration as governor of Edo State. President Tinubu urged Governor Okpebholo to improve the lives of Edo State citizens and make a lasting impact during his tenure. The president noted that after 8 years, Edo State rejoined the All Progressives Congress ranks, emphasizing Governor Okpebholo's responsibility to justify the confidence placed in him and the APC by fostering democracy and effective governance. He encouraged empowering the legislature and vital institutions, highlighting the importance of a robust independent legislature for good governance. Vice President Kashim Shettima has reiterated the federal government's quest to position the country as a strong economic force by formulating policies and adopting measures that will promote and increase patronage of made-in-Nigeria products at the international market. Alika Okwanachi Arua reports.
Nigeria's non-oil exports, especially in agriculture and manufacturing, have grown significantly. The third NEPC conference serves as a platform for discussing strategies to sustain this growth, diversify the economy, and reduce dependence on oil. Represented by his Deputy Chief of Staff, Ibrahim Hadeja, the Vice President emphasized the need to boost production capacity, improve product quality, and tackle unemployment to expand access to international markets.
A cursory analysis shows that in today's global economy, trade is the determining factor for any nation that desires prosperity for its citizenry.
Non-oil diversification is essential to Nigeria's growth, and the WTO stands ready to help in whichever way we can.
The NEPC's Executive Director and CEO, Nonye Ayeni, highlighted the sector's growth, reporting a 3.834 million metric ton increase and 2.7 billion in earnings in the first half of the year, pledged to maintain this trajectory.
To increase the non-oil export, the borders on one, enhancing the production capacity of agricultural products across the country.
A panel discussion focused on key strategies for the sector, including infrastructure development, better access to finance, and clearer policies to support growth.
We aim to promote the export of high-quality, value-added products to take full advantage of the opportunities presented by the African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
For us in the legislature, I can assure you that we are the fastest. Any law you want, within 1 month, we'll turn this around to be sure that we support what you want us to do for you.
The conference provided a crucial platform for policymakers and stakeholders to discuss ways to accelerate non-oil export growth. In Abuja, Alika Okwanachi Arua, Nta News.
The federal government has barred licensed flight crew members from operating multiple airlines in Nigeria. Acting Director General of the NCAA, Captain Chris Najomo, in a statement says the agency finds that pilots and other crew members render services to different airlines, describing the act as illegal and posing a safety risk. He urges pilots and all those concerned to abide by the rules and standards to enhance safety in the aviation industry. Talking health now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has issued alerts to subnational governments and relevant actors in environmental and sanitation to keep prioritizing action that will promote good community hygiene to save the country from a possible outbreak of Lassa fever and meningitis. Director General of the Center, Dr. Jide Idris, disclosed this while giving updates on national efforts to curtail the spread of diseases in Nigeria. Olusheye Adegbo has more.
Nigeria has confirmed 1,035 cases of Lassa fever as of October 2024, with a spike in cases. 174 fatalities have been recorded from 8,569 suspected ones across 28 states in 114 local government areas. To counter the spread of the acute viral hemorrhagic fever caused by the Lassa virus, the NCDC is encouraging health and sanitary authorities, especially at the local government level, including the media, to intensify awareness on environmental hygiene with focus on denying rodents having access to homes.
And people most at risk for Lassa fever are: 1. People of all age groups who come in contact with the urine, feces, saliva, or blood, or the droppings from these infected rats. In NCDC, especially through our Lassa fever technical working group, we're offering the following advice to the people in an attempt to reduce the risk of Lassa fever infection. Always keep your environment clean. Avoid drying foodstuff outside on the ground on roadsides where it is at risk of contamination.
On cases of meningitis, The NCDC says Nigeria recorded more than 360 deaths between 2023 and 2024 across 174 local government areas in 24 states, including the FCT.
While we continue to intensify efforts using an all-of-society approach, the public is hereby advised to know that the virus spreads through 1. Direct person-to-person contact. Health workers, unfortunately, are also not excluded.
In healthcare settings, Jide Idris wants operators to always apply standard infection prevention and control precautionaries when attending to patients. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
In the meantime, the Economic Community of West African States has raised concern about the emergence of new diseases affecting livestock in the region. This was during the 10th annual meeting of the Regional Animal Health Network under ECOWAS held in Abuja. Musa Baba Ali reports.
Livestock plays a crucial role in the social and economic well-being of people and governments across West and Central Africa. In some countries within West Africa, livestock contribute up to 40% of the gross domestic product's GDP. According to records from the ECOWAS Agriculture Department, the region is home to approximately 70 million head of cattle, 260 million sheep and goats, 14 million pigs, 4 million camels, as well as millions of culture fish and various short-cycle animals such as snails and rabbits.
Despite this considerable potential, animal resources development in general and livestock agriculture in particular is impeded by several challenges, including inadequate human resources, resulting in many instances from an inadequate organizational structure.
In light of these challenges, the focus of the 10th national meeting is to foster collaboration in addressing the issues that have been identified. Participants from both West and Central Africa have actively discussed the obstacles posed by the insufficient number of veterinary doctors in several member countries. Nigerian Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Maiha, emphasized the government's readiness to collaborate with neighboring countries, including Cameroon and Chad, to tackle challenges related to transhumance and animal health.
As we seek to enhance the prospects for veterinary services in our region, we must prioritize 1. Investing in education and continuous professional development, attracting, retaining, and deploying talents, promoting public-private partnerships, leveraging technology for improved service delivery.
President of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Taure, in a message, raised concerns over the ongoing killing and slaughtering of donkeys in the region. He urged member countries to implement regulations governing the trade of donkeys and their byproducts, highlighting the species' impending threat of extinction. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The federal government, through the National Council on Agriculture and Food Security, is strategizing on the best approach to sustaining food security, employment generation and wealth creation in the country. This was at the opening ceremony of the technical session of the 46th regular meeting of the Council in Calabar. Paul Abel reports.
The present rate of food inflation in the country, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, and the Commissioners of Agriculture all over the country, the private sector as well as other stakeholders, with the theme, Resilience to Climate Change Towards Sustainable Food Security, are brainstorming at this 46th National Council regular meeting to come up with policies on the way forward to improve this sector.
All other stakeholders will gather together to analyze various memos that have been submitted before now, new ideas to address the current pressing issues. We'll analyze them, we'll enrich them, and prepare them together for Thursday, when the actual council meeting will happen, where the two honorable ministers and all the commissioners across it will deliberate and approve. And it is our hope and belief that far-reaching decisions will come up from that meeting that will help us address the high food inflation and all other challenges that we are currently facing in the food sector.
Actually investing in rolling out agriculture in a way that helps us fight multidimensional poverty.
Food is a necessary thing, and it's a must that every Nigerian will go home at least with 3 square meals.
At this meeting, in the next 5 days, participants will review ongoing policies and programs towards ensuring agricultural and socio-economic development of the nation. In Calabar, Paul Abel, Nta News.
This is the news at 10 on Nta News 24. More reports after this break.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to Nta News24, DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 26, StarTimes channel 101 and 433, and Free TV channel 703.
Welcome back. The Plateau State Police Command has debunked rumors of a detonated improvised explosive device at Terminus. The Commissioner of Police, Emmanuel Adeshina, debunked the rumor while assessing the area in Jos. Ndenyang Andeyabagyang reports.
The Old Jute area along Murtala Mohammed Way in Jos Metropolis is known for the heavy human and vehicular movement. However, residents and business owners around the area were sent into panic mode when it was alleged that a device, suspected to be improvised explosive device, was buried around the area and alerted the police.
Come this morning, we started opening shop. Not quite in the interval of 1 hour, we see the bomb squad coming up, then check, then sample here. So everybody clear. So we're both of us, everybody get to come move out of here.
I saw bomb squad. They came in. They started say there's something that suspecting towards this place. That's something like bomb. I said, okay, how did the thing happen? They now say we should close up shop. I will lock up our shops.
The police commissioner, accompanied by the anti-bomb squad, were at the scene where the suspected RED was buried.
This morning there was a report of a suspected hole here, as you can see, that suspected to have been planted with IED, but the EOD technicians we are immediately deployed to the scene. They dug the place and discovered that nothing was inside the place, and as you can see, there is nothing. So, and that's why I'm here, to assure members of the public that they should not be afraid.
He further assured the public of efforts to continually secure lives and property of citizens. In Jos, Ndenyang Andeyabagyang, Nta News.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force has taken its campaign against cultism and other vices to Jiwa community in Abuja. Francis Fom reports that the Enlightenment campaign is geared towards addressing the root causes of crime and to sensitize parents on their responsibility in preventing crimes among youths through a non-kinetic approach. With the theme, Breaking the Circle, Parental Responsibility.
Let us talk to ourselves one-on-one. Let us stop crimes and criminality in Nigeria. There is no gain in cultism. There is no gain in Yandabajo. There is no gain in taking drugs by that will talk on its head. There is no gain.
It's not enough that we arrest criminals, we send them to jail when they are found guilty, but the Nigeria Police Force deems it fit that it's better for us to prevent crimes before they are even committed, that we should talk to parents, because we believe that all criminals come from a particular family. So it should start from the homes. Parents need to be talked to ensure that their children do not turn bad.
For them to come and educate our children here on telling them the importance and even the evils of doing one or two things that are not even accepted, even in the religions, whether a Christian or a Muslim. At least we appreciate the police community for coming to do that.
With the theme Breaking the Circle, Parental Responsibility and Preventing Youth Crime, the program aims to address critical social issues impacting on the youths and to foster a more resilient community. Elsewhere, the military has reassured Nigerians of its commitment to securing the country and urged citizens against fake news. The Chief of Defence Staff gave the assurance while receiving the President of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Neliaku, at the Defence Headquarters. Defence correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
They are officials and members of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations at the Defence Headquarters to deliberate on critical national issues. Of concern to the Chief of Defence Staff are the emerging security threats in parts of the country, ongoing efforts to combat the threats, and the non-kinetic nature of the nation's security challenges.
Whatever the military is doing is just 20-25% of the solution. 75% is non-kinetic. It has to do with good governance, fairness, justice, equity. If these things are missing, whatever we're doing will just be running in cycles. Social media is also creating its own challenges. Now there's a lot of fake news, false news. I think it's important that we find a way that if there are things people can verify.
The president of the institute, who commended the recent clean bill given to the military by a panel of inquiry on alleged human rights abuse, stressed that the institute preaches respect, value reorientation, and national cohesion.
The Nigerian Human Rights Commission presented their report that gave the Nigerian military a clean bill, that you have not been abusing your operations and so on. That is very important to us, because if you recall where that report came from and what it was intended to do, it was meant to damage the credibility of the Nigerian armed forces.
The delegation also condoled with the Chief of Defence Staff, Armed Forces, and Nigerians over the demise of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Army Headquarters has announced the funeral arrangements for the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja. In a statement by Acting Chief of Army Staff, burial activities will commence on Thursday, 14th November, with a service of songs at the Army Headquarters Garrison Parade Grounds by 5 p.m. Friday, 15th November, will be the funeral service at the National Christian Center by 10 a.m., followed by interments by 2 p.m. at the National Military Cemetery. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, represented by the Vice President's wife, Nana Kashim Shettima, has inaugurated the Chief Habibat Mogaji ICT Center at the Mariam Babangida Center for Women Development. The center is dedicated to women's empowerment through digital literacy and skills training. It is not only a major stride towards bridging the technology gap, but also a posthumous tribute to Chief Habibat Mogaji, a revered figure and beacon of hope for Nigerian women, especially those at the grassroots and market level. Patricia Isameluba reports.
With this, the advocacy for the advancement of Nigerian women came alive once again, as through the center, dreams and opportunities will light the way forward for women across Nigeria. The First Lady represented underscored the commitments of the Tinubu's administration to equip women with essential digital skills. As such, the ICT Center will serve as a powerful resource for Nigerian women, offering training in digital literacy, business management, and entrepreneurial development.
As we honor her memory by naming the ICT block after her, we pay tribute to her.
She has lived a life of excellence, she's lived a life of service, and she has empowered and served many people. And I think this should serve as a lesson for all of us, an inspiration for all of us, so that we can continue to, in her legacy, also impact in lives.
Chief Felicia Sani, National President, Market Men and Women Association of Nigeria, who worked closely with Chief Mogaji, testified to her relentless advocacy for women's rights and economic empowerment.
That woman united all the market women. I traveled with her to 36 states of Nigeria. Even I went to Meduguri with her.
In recognizing Chief Habibat Mogaji posthumously, the Director General of Mariam Babangida National Center for Women Development, Asabe Vilita Bashir, said the center is to inspire future generations of women, reminding them that the path to progress and self-sufficiency is within reach.
What Chief late Mama Habibat Mogaji has done is something that we need to keep on reminding women that they should emulate her. And one way we can do this part of documentation, we are building all our buildings in the center are named after women that have really excelled in their field of endeavor.
Chief Habibat Mogaji legacy of advocacy for women's rights and opportunities in commerce is set to inspire a new generation, ensuring that every woman, regardless of background, has the tool to thrive in the digital world. In Abuja, Patricia A. Samiluba, NTA News.
We'll take another short break now. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adegbuyega Oyetola has inaugurated a high-powered committee to oversee the implementation of essential maritime policies. Established to enhance Nigeria's maritime policies in a major boost for Nigeria's maritime sector, the committee is chaired by the minister alongside the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Other members include representatives from key organizations such as the Nigerian Port Authority and the Maritime Academy of Nigeria.
The international committee comprises high-level officials led by the permanent secretaries, the responsibility of which, among others, include identify activities and actions that will promote Nigeria's good standing in the IMO community, through articulating and showcasing Nigeria's maritime achievement, as well as providing timeline of activities and progress expected to be made, which will serve as a guide prior to the election period, as will be indicated in terms of reference to.
The strategic move, stakeholders believe, reflects government's commitment to maritime safety and efficiency, positioning Nigeria as a significant player in the international markets community. All right, let's pause the news at this point. Let's join our outside broadcasting crew for a live telecast of the Controller General of Customs Conference in Abuja. Please stay tuned.